Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore back again to the root of today. Here we are. It's one-on-one live coverage. We're going to be starting at this kind of the platform of today. So, guys, we have much of the breaking news that have been already tangling at this kind of the way forward. Much of the people are asking, what's really coming up and what's really popping out? So today, the breaking news is one. We have already, this is I can call him Master KG driver. Is part of the program right today and is in a search of the DCI, and also we have Rder and Jonah. They are part of the team. I don't know what happened because the yesterday video I talked about there's one of the artists who was a YouTuber who was killed and was just mob justized and was just killed through much of the beatings, and that is how the end of that kind of the guy called Slimmy Boy, the life went kaboom at that kind of the particular moment. So what is tangling out is during that kind of the party, we have much of the boys that talk about Master KG driver and also Rder John. They were part of him whenever he was just making sure that they were just going for the dancing east, west and south, and the people who left him there to be beaten and whatever is there. So it's much of the coverage that also the police are just engaging to understand, because right now everybody's just on a search and they have just ran out of their apartment to make sure that they are not part of the program. And it's because we really understand what is really coming out at this kind of the moment. We talk about the brotherhood and also we talk about how is it everything going to be coming out. We have this kind of insertion, and I'm telling much of the boys, it will occur whenever you are in the problem. That's the time they will just run away from you. So they never saw that how it was going to be coming. So right now, even talk about the medias in Kenya, they have been covering this kind of the story about this kind of the gentleman who was a YouTuber from Nyabuanse and was killed. The mother is so serious about it, and the mother wants to know who was part of the team to make sure that the murderer of this kind of the young souls just democratizing that way, and they have just been ended at this kind of particular moment. Even they have not yet fulfilled the dream. Talk about even he was constructing a house. Even I saw him constructing a house. He was my friend. The last time I met with that kind of a boy, it was I have my mother here calling. Yeah, hello. Nehangi hike. Oh, hey. Oh, you no to scanning sana namate ache. So, guys, already up to today, it's just a phone call. This person who was trespassing to much of the homes here. So I've got him today, and I'm gonna be dealing with him perpendicularly per unit time. So I'm gonna be making sure that we can call them the police officers. They're just knowing what's really hiding, because a person has come himself at home talk about I was the one who stole much of the thing. I told you that somebody broke into my brother's compound and they stole much of the TVs and also the cushions of the sofa sets and much of the terrible things here. And also there are people who are just selling much of my steals whenever I was constructing, talk about the D10, talk about those kind of the steals, and also the much of the things that were being stolen at my home. So already I've just got one person, and I told the guy to come and ask for forgiveness, because I already knows, because I always say about we'll never go with such kind of the things anywhere, because I'll ever find you, because every day I wake up, I make sure that I have made something, I have just done something here to understand what's really popping out. Right now, I got yesterday one kind of a person who came and was intruding to steal much of the things from my compound here. So already I've got the guy, and I've told him that come and talk to the parents so they can just excuse, because much of the things have been stolen, yet much of the people think about going to be there. So even if a person comes to talk about I want forgiveness, I always say that is the deal. And so you tell me where the stamp so I can go and pick, but not a way that you come and talk about you steal and then we talk about A, B, C, D. No, that's not the way forward. So the fantastic way is to make sure that we are just heading forward. Right today, I was ever talking about this kind of the story of this kind of the boy who was murdered, brutally murdered, in terms of how the system is. It was so chaotic, and it's not a way of a human being to react that way. Even if we are over different tribes, this kind of the people, they ran and they left this kind of the boy, and he was being brutally hit like Cherokee drum. And they are now talking about, yeah, we are friends. Sometimes we have this kind of a different defect. Right now, talk about the Master KG driver is now on a search, is now running helter-skelter from Babylon Kills Us, is no longer be appearing because right now is on the records. So right now they're just so they can just go and write the statement. How did it occur? Because they're talking about this kind of the boy whenever he was just there, you know, a motorbike was stolen and they thought the mother, the father, talking about that guy doesn't have any kind of a trend of stealing. He has never been into stealing this kind of the things. And I was talking about the last moment I met with this kind of the boy was the one, the time that we went to Vidi Jonah's engagement party. That whenever he just married this kind of the young lady from I don't know, Ireland. You can just remember. So you went there, and I was the one who was sent with Maro to make sure that I'm going to check on what is really cooked there and how everything will be. Because I was in the team of during that time in the villa to make sure that Maro eats good food whenever he's just going from one step to another step. So I was part of the program to make sure that that kind of a food is coming into us already tested. I'm seeing how it's just being cooked. That is the stage I had reached at the villa. It's because of some 2-3 shenanigans here and there. So they're just talking about, oh, Gintu this way, Gintu that way, and that way. But they know my own effect whenever I talk about this is the time I want to make it happen. So the fact that is coming out right now is whenever they went for their own party, talk about it was in Migori, somewhere called Giri Hotel. And whenever they went there, they partied, they were engaged in liquor, whatever, and everything. So whenever they want to be sparfing, everything want to be so fantastic. We talk about whenever you are going to a club, you understand whatever is just coming out. So this kind of the boy, whenever they're coming out, he misplaced. He talked about he never understood his own motorbike. So he went and took another motorbike there and started hitting. So you understand whenever you have a motorbike now, you start with this kind of a kick. So you start doing this way. You start doing this way. So it means that that kind of a person who is the owner of that bike could come and talk about, hey, bro, this is not your bike. Or you are. So they started shouting, oh, a thief, a thief, a thief, because he was sitting on top of the motorbike. So that's how much of the mob justice came. And you can never determine how the mob justice they came, in which kind of the force. How are they coming to react upon you? So that was the defect that followed upon the guy, and he was hit like a Cherokee drum, and it was just brutally murdered. So to that kind of an estimate, the police are still undergoing with much of the investigation to understand what and how. So this kind of the two boys, they're running. They don't want to go and write much of the statement. So this is the defect that is coming with much of the boys. So right now, whenever you have a problem, they just run away. No, I was not part of the team. So right now, everything is just rampant. So things are just cruently handled at the matter. So they left the guy to be beaten, and they were told that if maybe you go inside, you understand whenever the mob justice is dealing with somebody perpendicularly. So here in Nyabuhanse also, in Migori, Mabera, we have this kind of a scenario whereby you can get that mob justice is beating a thief maybe. Talk about even like the last time that I shooted a video in Nyabuhanse. There was a mob justice that started to talk about they're going to be beating this kind of the thieves that came to intrude one of the guys and want to stole this kind of a person a lot of money. So what followed from that kind of the pathway? Much of the people from Nyabuhanse, mob justice talked about these are the people who are stealing us. So let them come here. So whenever you want to hit them, the police came and evacuated the guy. So now the people are just talking about the police are part of the program. Why couldn't they leave them to be hit like Cherokee Dam? But the government doesn't deal with that. Police and laws, they don't deal with such kind of a way. So even if a person is wrong, you have to take them to the police station. Talk about this guy, I found him, is this, then that. It's because of the tribal sometimes. So this is where you see the tribalism is coming from. And now you find that racism is coming on. And talk about now ethnicity is coming in. Now you'll find this kind of the people now start talking about this tribe and this tribe gonna be fighting, because Migori County is a combination of two tribes. Talk about the Korean tribe and also the Luo tribe, which is the Nilotic. Talk about they're called river like Nilotes. So whenever they're just here, so sometimes we engage into terms of this kind of the way, and that's why you see much of the effect come. And the talk about the civil war now starts here. Now talk about a tribal war starts, and you can find that, oh, this tribe is fighting the other tribe because of this, and it will be chaotic. Right now, even the same day, they talked about this guy had been brutally murdered. Much of the chaotic evolved. Talk about mayhem evolved in Mabera. They blocked the road. They blocked. You understand, whenever the tribe of Koreans and the Nilotes, they have a way that they have just talked about. This is where this tribe starts from to the other side. This is a way of this tribe starting to this side. So they went and burnt much of the tires, and no car was passing. Talk about there's no tribe of the other people, and even they took the border. Talk about a person person was just like the way I'm just driving a motorbike. I passed to the those kind of the guys talk about the Nilots. That's now the tribal. Huh? So you find the other ethnic group. So you find that whenever I'm passing there, they talk about your people. Our people have been hit. Our person, maybe his motorbike was burnt. So even your motorbike gonna be burning. But I don't have any kind of the mistake. That's where now we are just heading. But this is the defect that is coming out at this kind of the point. And I'm gonna be talking about we are having a problem at this kind of the rate. So everything gonna be coming to you live, which one-on-one, and much of the people want to understand where is the defect coming from, which is Marwa driver, which is Gitiriba had been misplaced into this kind of the scenario. So right now they are just under investigation, thorough investigation to understand how did it happen and how did it go, because all the media services in Kenya, they're part of the program to understand how did it go, and right now everybody is on the run. And right that's coming out is on the, I know on the Barrio Solomon talk about getting the body from the morgue. It will be chaotic because it will be in a way that now things will be so worse. I'll be broadcasting it live, coming to you live one-on-one to make sure that we are just understanding what's really happening at the street and what's really happening at the bottom level of kicking out the things that are not evolving out very sufficiently. So Into will be there to make sure that everything will be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. Much of the thing going to come to you live one-on-one. This is the way of getting forward, and this is the brain point of understanding what's really coming out from this kind of the segment one-on-one. But this is the beginning. Let's get forward. Guys, back home here, a little bit here, and have some small chicken here I'm just taking care of. They are called kienyeji. Guys, due to unconditional circumstance, you can just remember, there's a time I had very many chicken at this kind of the spot here. But when I started the G Castle construction there, I just migrated and talked about I'm going to be starting with the G Castle, then I come back. But right now I have some of them. They are just kienyeji. And we can call them kienyeji improved, not kienyeji, the local ones. So I have so many of them here a little bit, and they're just growing, and I want them to make sure that they're gonna be. I have so many of the chicks here, and the condition is so favorable for them because I don't know if they have started laying eggs, guys. You can even see they're laying some of the eggs here a little bit, and we're gonna be cherishing with them here a little bit. So some eggs they're here, and some of the eggs are here. So we have much of them right now. They're just laying much of the eggs, and I appreciate the moment because we have to make it happen. And they're gonna be now be released a little bit. You have these ones are the ones that are just laying some of the eggs here, and everything's so fantastic. But it's their starting time, and also I have the vet here. You can just remember the guy. He's here one-on-one. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Everything is good.
It's good.
Lumumba.
Yeah, I'm calling myself Farm with Maxwell. I'm no longer calling myself
Lumumba
Junior.
Oh, now you're calling yourself
Farm with Maxwell.
Farm with Maxwell.
Yes.
So you have changed the name.
Yeah, I changed
already.
The
it's
name.
Farm with Maxwell.
Yeah, it is Farm with Maxwell now.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how do you see the condition, man? Because I have some small puppies here, and I want they were having much of the I don't know how you call those kind of
they're
stars.
called fleas.
Oh, they're called fleas.
They were having fleas, a lot of fleas. So we were trying to control these fleas in these puppies.
Yeah, they have some of the puppies here. They're lying down here.
Yes.
And already we have sprayed for them.
Yes, we were having a caricide that we were spraying them so that they can die immediately. They are dying constantly.
Yeah, constantly.
Yes.
So right now they're sun drying.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be so fantastic. Yeah, I have good puppies here.
Yes.
And you understand that I have some female dogs here.
Yes.
And everything's so fantastic. So I always care for the dogs. Mostly I like dogs, also the pets, and I really talk about that is the way forward. Even I have some of the chickens here. You can just assess them a little bit and talk about how are they, because yeah, I have like two roosters and very many small chicks. I have so many of them. So many.
You hatch them here?
Yeah, I always hatch them here.
Okay.
Exactly. So this was the house that I was ever using.
Yeah, your housing is good.
Yeah,
I can't say that it is bad.
Yeah.
The floor is good. The ventilation is good.
Exactly.
The entire house looks nice.
Exactly. So yes. Do you know that I was rearing here a lot of chicken, man?
Where
so it's the one from here until the far end.
Until the far end.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see the nets here. I had even put some of the nets here,
so they
could just come outside here and bask some sun.
Which is good.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be going back to that kind of the way because I understand it. So back to you again.
Yes.
So already, guys, today we are making sure that we are just assessing the dogs also, and they had much of the problem. The later one that there's a time they came to check on they had much of the foot, I don't know, limping.
Yeah, they were having some fungal infection here, what we call yeast.
Yeast.
So that means they were the pores were fermenting. So you can get that they were having some things like cracks.
Exactly.
Yes. So we were controlling that.
Exactly.
And we started with that. It was a day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Today we were completing it.
Exactly.
So that means we were disinfecting those places and putting some antibiotics so that it can penetrate inside and the heel. Yeah, but I can see progress is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are recovering, exactly.
Yeah, they are
so
recovering.
I like it, man. So you're calling yourself Farm with Maxwell?
Farm with Maxwell. That is my YouTube channel.
Exactly. That's the career you have ventured into. To make sure that guys go support Farm with Maxwell. Farm with Maxwell.
I deal with animals and some farming, yeah?
And some farming.
Yeah, I deal with animals and some farming.
Exactly.
Which is good.
So guys, I was even talking about, I had a dream of having, is it called what? I talked about an agrovet. But my dream was shattered when I just asked a person to open for me one, because I don't have the qualification. You should have the qualifications.
I'll help you in that.
You will help me in that one. So guys, I had that kind of a dream to open such kind of an agrovet in Nyaboanse, because we have small ones in Nyaboanse. We need a bigger one that we're going to be investing there. So I'm going to be looking at him, because I talked about going to be helping a little bit to make sure that everything going to be coming out very fantastic. So bro, I appreciate your work and kudos for the work you're ever doing, and I appreciate the moment. I have another friend here. Are you still a YouTuber, man?
Yeah, I'm a YouTuber.
You're a YouTuber too.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
Everything's good?
Everything is good.
I appreciate, guys, that whenever I see much of the people are coming to make sure that they're just coming to work and also engaging in work. That is the best way of us to get forward. Not that, oh please I don't have, oh please I don't have. But when they're just working, they'll just get something very authentic and coming out very clearly. So how do you call yourself, man?
Ken's Dynasty Official.
Hey, that's a very long name. Ken Dynasty.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a very long name, man.
No.
So, are you coming from California, man?
No.
Huh? You are from here?
I'm from Kenya. Yeah.
What's your real name? They talk about surname.
Surname, Juma.
Juma.
Kenya.
Yeah, that's a very good name, man.
Yeah.
You can talk about, you call yourself I am Juma.
And Juma.
And you can make it happen.
I'll make it
Yeah, call yourself I'm Juma or only Juma or something like Juma. Juma, I will find match names of calling themselves Juma.
The reason why I had to change my name from I was calling myself Lumumba Junior is because it was much of African name. So
Exactly.
because pronouncing that name Lumumba, it was very difficult.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why I had to change to
Farm with Maxwell. And also give yourself a title.
Yes.
Like what are you doing specifically?
Yes.
If you call himself Farm with, they know that whenever you talk about farm, it's something specialized in terms of the content or whatever he's doing. It's in terms of farming.
Yes.
Farming is a whole bigger project.
Yes.
So when you call yourself, I don't even have just. You have taken about what?
Ken's Dynasty.
Ken's Dynasty.
Yeah.
Call yourself Juma, my friend, and you can make it happen. Yeah, very short name and precisive.
Yes.
Short and precisive. You understand it, man? Yeah, and make it happen because everything gonna be possible. You can never know what's tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. I always call it. So, guys, here we are. We have just treated everything that's getting all good, and we're gonna be talking about. I like the guys here, and they have just made it happen. And subscribe, like, share, comment, and so as you can just grow together as a team. I'm gonna be calling himself Juma. I'm gonna be getting himself called Juma. Only Juma or I am Juma. It's Juma.
Today.
Huh?
Yeah, it's going to be I'm Juma.
I am Juma. I am Juma. You're gonna be coming, so send me the link. Exactly. Who have Farm with Maxwell also support. I'm gonna be sending me the link. I'm gonna be posting it there, so you can just groove together.
No problem.
Exactly.
I wanted to tell you that I deal with dogs, and that's why you see me coming with this guy.
You are the dog.
Yeah, I'm the dog master. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah, the dog master. You know, everything about dogs concerns me. That's why you come with this.
Dogs, man. Yeah. So you have the bulldogs?
I have the German Shepherds.
Where?
I can get you
Small
bulldogs.
ones. Small ones, puppies.
Puppies, you can get them. I can find you.
You can find. How much does it cost?
A German Shepherd, a puppy like this one goes for around 25,000.
25,000. A puppy small one like this one. Do you know how many sermons are those?
Yeah, I know.
And do you know if you talk about you're gonna be getting a soldier at the gate? Do you know that 25,000 and rearing it up to whenever like 1 year? Do you know how much money will have been used?
The soldier is not reliable, but the German Shepherd is very reliable. It will never sleep at night. Very active and attentive at work.
A dog doesn't sleep.
It never sleeps at night.
Who told you?
I've checked. You can ask. I have dogs.
Like the way I like dogs, I'll even give them a sofa set to sleep.
Yes.
I don't.
You can check mine, the German Shepherds. At home I have German Shepherds.
Oh.
They are very attentive.
German Shepherds.
And well, as long as we are well
You have put S there, so it means you have them.
I have them.
So why do you want to sell me much as that kind of the money, man?
Because that's the only thing that keeps me moving in
Oh,
time.
exactly. So I like this kind of the nature, and I like much of the pets, guys. So keep it on, keep it locked. Go support the boys here, and make sure that we are just moving together as a team and we make it happen. Always we are there to make it happen. And as far as everything is in concern, I like and appreciate much of your motive and also your way of getting it and getting it to the point. And that is the way forward. And make it happen. Exactly. So he's calling himself I Am Juma, and we're gonna be making sure everything is gonna be coming to you live and also have fun with Maxwell. Exactly. So you can just tell them something, man.
Yeah, for me, what I usually do, I have that passion about animals. So that's why I've been coming here so that I can check your animals.
Exactly.
Now, I'm doing different videos concerning animals because I have that passion. The knowledge I'm trying to give the community this knowledge about animals, because you can see me, most of my videos, I go to people's farm to benchmark. Me, I don't have any farm. I don't have a land that I can say this is my land. This is my farm. People will be coming to me. But what I'm praying, one day I'll be owning my own farm where people will be coming there, benchmarking, doing everything there.
That's fine.
That's my ambition. I'm focusing to that direction.
That's called determination and focus.
Yes, I have to buy land, buy animals, so I can start keeping those animals. So people will be.
So which kind of animal do you prefer mostly?
Me, I prefer having cattle.
Cattle farming.
Cows,
dairy or which one?
Dairy.
Dairy farming.
Focus on dairy farming and maybe poultry farming.
Or poultry.
Those two ventures.
Right now we have a scarcity of chicken. And we are just heading to the Christmas edition, which is December. So and if you start it today, put today chicken, December you will sell.
Yeah, that's actually the target is December, because when somebody puts chicken right now, December you just be smiling because you'll be making a lot of fortune from those chicken.
Do you know that last year, like today is on 5th. It's like today last year I started chicken farming. And I can remember it was last year like today. I started 5th, it was on 5th. I started chicken farming. And right now I have like 1 year now. But it's due to the construction of the house. I just talked about, you understand, whenever they are growing, much of your pocket is the one that you just determine before they can just come to get out. But I'm going to be going back to that kind of the regime to make it happen. And right now in Nyabuans, we don't have much of the chicken right now. And we have... Even milk,
Yes, that's why I want to venture. How many projects? Chicken, actually poultry farming, and dairy cattle. Because you see something like dairy cattle, that is not seasonal thing. It is daily thing, because you sell milk daily. You get your fortune from there.
Exactly.
The same as chicken, You sell what you have. You can't go steal maybe something so that you can
we should venture as a actually I always talk about the young people like us, the way we are here. We have not looking forward to talk about what is it going to help me. Everybody's talking about what am I going to get today, but they don't remember that tomorrow is another day. They talk about I need it today, but they don't remember that tomorrow also it will require them to have it. So what we are always talking about, much of the boys down here, I talk about at the village here, and most of the people, not only boys, much of the youths, they venture into short-term investments. And sometimes short-term investment, they have a cut and they have losses. So you can never find that, now the business has died, they go back home and talk about, I opened. Look at how, talk about this kind of a scenario. How many people have been opening, talk about the YouTubers. They have opened a lot of, talk about maybe call about the shops. Much of the people have been opened shops, talk about the YouTubers have helped me to open the shops. Where are they right now? They're no longer existing. Why? Much of the people have not been into such kind of the business. Talk about I want it. Whenever I sell talk about a matchbox, I want to talk about this 20 bob. I'll go to another place and I'll get 20 bob and I bring it here. So he uses that 20 bob. It doesn't understand that is a business. It has to bring itself money. So that is what is bringing much of the chaotic things onto the village. And also I saw much of the things talk about whenever Mauro there was supporting much of the people to open much of the businesses. But where are this kind of the business up to date? They are no longer existing. Much of everybody, we should be taught on how to make sure that we are maintaining ourselves. Everybody is talking about, I have to make it today only. And what about tomorrow? It's becoming a problem. But to you, I just talk about, we have to, in business studies, no problem. I left it in Form 2, no problem. I reached where it's called stock exchange. You did it? Stock exchange? Yeah, stock exchange. That's where now things went rampant. Because I'm telling you that as a fact. Because we had a teacher I never liked that teacher. So the attitude, exactly. Even in Form 1, when I went to Form 1, the business studies was the last. Imagine it was the last. And it was in Form 1 and I never reached 50% only. Form 1, the first exam. The first exam. I never reached 50.
But you had a substitute about agriculture.
The good thing I went to agriculture. And the fact is, I never liked on how the business was driving me. And I liked sciences. The sciences I liked. But the business, I'm telling you, the last topic I learned, it was called stock exchange.
Me, I love the both.
And you are very happy because you are just, you are getting out of that business.
Very happy. I know you didn't even concentrate.
Exactly. I never even. I knew that you have to select subject. You know, here in Africa, we select subject. We do like 13, then you select 8. The best 8 you can. But they are compulsory. Some of them are compulsory. Like English, Kiswahili, and mathematics, chemistry, such kind of some sort of sciences there. So the good fact is I understand how everything is just derived. So into that kind of the position, I can tell you that to the business studies, and also we had something called business idea, opportunity
course,
opportunity
course preference.
Exactly, that one. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. Right now, much of the boys don't go back to reframe it. Talk about the business. If I want to start a business, first I want to look at the business idea. Which kind of an idea do I have?
Actually, what is happening with
they talk about we have a business idea. There are 5. Business idea, opportunity. No, there's something like a business idea, opportunity
cost.
No, opportunity is there. We have something else. They are there. Scale
of preference. They prefer what they are going to do according to what is locally available to minimize the cost.
But if you want to start up, talk about like you want to start up a farm. So he has to talk about right now the capital. Talk about the idea. Talk about the management, and also talk about the land, because the land must be there.
The market.
The market, and also talk about the competition is there also.
If
he has to understand it.
Stiff,
you
try to outdo the market by
exactly. So that competition now comes with the demand.
The demand
and also the quality of your products.
Exactly.
I can remember those kind of the things.
You can remember, that is also in agriculture. I know I did business, but I loved agriculture.
Exactly.
So I read the whole
so the good thing that always come out is much of the people don't assessment. Talk about what is really recommendable at this kind of the rate. Much of the people venture, talk about, I want to have a shop. Somebody has supported me with a shop. They get in like a cucumber, let me get in, no problem. So they don't understand that sometimes you have to calculate. Whenever it comes now calculation of a day, and much of the people are so lazy. They talk about they don't have this kind of record. They don't have records. They don't keep the records of talking about today I've sold this and that and that.
Every business, you must have record. You have to know, are you making profit
or loss? Exactly.
So record plays a vital role. So any other business, even if it is a project like here, cook the chicken project, make sure you have record for, you see, like for feeds, you have record for maybe veterinary has to come, maybe visit your feed. So when you are making your sales, you have to work out how much will I sell this chicken because I've incurred these costs.
Exactly.
So from there you can budget how this chicken you can sell and make a good profit from there, because you're a business.
So for you, long-term or short-term investment is good?
A long-term investment.
Long-term investment. What about you?
A long-term investment.
Even dogs have long-term investment.
Dogs have the best long-term investment.
Which one? You start the pregnancy.
You know, I go to a
cucumber first.
Cucumber first.
Cucumberization.
After cucumberization, and then after that you get some.
No, pregnancy. You read the pregnancy. It delivers.
It delivers.
Now start the puppies.
Vaccinate them, and then
you start breastfeeding the puppies now.
You breastfeed them for.
You introduce them with
German
food.
Shepherd, you breastfeed them like 3 weeks.
You breastfeed them.
Breastfeed them. After
breastfeeding, they breastfeed on themselves. After
that, and then we start giving them now some milk and yogurt.
You know, you're about to challenge me, man. I thought about you have somebody who is going and sitting down and feeding you.
No.
My friend.
But
I breastfeed them. Take a part, they breastfeed.
If the puppies are many, you breastfeed them.
You breastfeed. Are they like pigs? Like
you
pigs.
See, that.
Do you milk the dog?
No.
Bottle.
You can never milk. But have you tried?
That's quite critical.
No, it's not critical because sometimes you can find that a puppy is in a talk about how can I call a critical situation and talk about it has to be breastfeed. It has to be put to the mouth. How will you do it? Or you're gonna be buying for the cow.
We buy cow milk.
Oh, cow milk.
Yeah, cow milk.
And then we add some additives.
Oh, additives.
To
Like
keep
vitamin,
them.
such kind of
vitamins and
okay.
supplements.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
we breastfeed it. Now
Oh.
we're using that
Feeding
thing,
bottle.
the feeding
Feeding
bottle.
Oh, feeding bottle.
Yeah.
Because when the puppy, sometimes a German Shepherd can give up to 13 puppies.
13.
Yeah. 13.
How big is that one? Man?
Yeah.
Like a bull.
It can give birth to 13 puppies.
But
13.
when it gives birth to a lot of puppies, you get that they become small in
Oh,
number.
And
they
that's-
become so slender
Yes.
and very small. I
That's
understand
why-
it. Yeah.
That's why we use a feeding bottle.
Oh,
to
you use a-
supplement that.
Oh,
Supplement.
exactly. Guys, that's a best way of us to get forward. And that's why I always encourage much of the boys to the village here. Because they have already gone into, you understand right now, much of the boys, because they don't have anything to do. They're just talking about economy is bad, the fluctuation of the prices. I talk about the climate is not climatizing to them. So they talk about let's venture into other things. Let me sell a land so as I can just venture into my own business. Much of the people have sold lands to go and open businesses. You understand it?
to make
With
matters
me, what
worse,
I
yeah?
understand about people who sell land, the money that you sell land and go start with business, that thing will never work.
It will never work.
according to me.
So it's better, understand.
better
So,
you
so
ask.
sometimes it's like you talk about you want to buy a motorbike. Then you have not hustled for that money.
Yeah.
Talking about I have worked, I've sweat. You'll talk about this is just I have another land
Another
there.
land
How
I will
much?
sell.
Always you are kicking yourself.
Actually, what pains me, people are selling ancestral lands.
Ancestral lands.
Yeah, ancestral
Very
land.
bad,
That's like a curse. So that
It is
money,
like a
get
curse.
it just be
So sometimes I don't understand that your father never sold it and has given you, now you are selling it.
Me, my father never
is bad.
sold. I'm not going to sell. That's why you see those German Shepherds I bought. I hustled for them.
Exactly.
You can
That is the nature. We have to get it. And that's why I talk about boys, we should just encourage ourselves here. And it's because of also we have this kind of an attitude of much of the boys venturing into liquor.
Oh,
Liquor has become a problem, man.
becoming a problem.
Yeah, and also talk about it's not on, it's inherited sometimes.
Yeah.
And we talk about from inheriting, we talk about they ever saw that even peer pressure. That the boy sold the land, now he has made some 2-3 changes here and there, and he has just chased me, he don't want me. Okay, even me, I have a land, I have to go and sell it. Peer pressure. They want to be like, there's the last time I told you to buy me this one, you refused. Even today I have money.
I have money. I will
Yeah,
buy.
I'll buy. Now even I'll hit you and I'll pay you. That's what they're coming out. So that is why we are just coming to have such kind of the awareness to entitle and to give much of the people this kind of the way of getting forward. Not only that you have to sell a land. Sometimes you can never know what God talk about. There's a person who is it called bleeding? Nose bleeding for 12 years. But at the end, there's something came and changed the life. And from the Bible, talk about there's a person who was told to monk God. But who was the name? I know CRE is here.
Me, I didn't do CRE.
You don't use CRE. I knew I will come.
I'm a guy from
Who was the
Rder.
guy?
I
I'm a
never
guy
did
from
CRE.
Rder.
Yeah.
never
We have found ourselves here. Now
I'm a guy
everybody.
from Rocks.
Eh?
We did geography.
You did wrong. Oh, you are called a Zinjanthropa.
No, Zinjathropas concerns history.
Yeah,
Oh, is that the history? You never did the history?
I did history.
You did history.
I did
How
my
best
subject.
was you in history?
I got an airplane. in history.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Are you sure you can challenge me?
Yeah, I can challenge you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I can challenge you 100%. I got
Two
a-
qualities of Pan-Africanism.
Pan-Africanism. There are going to be people like, let me say,
Okay, too much of thinking. Okay, who was heading Pan-African?
Pan-African.
Mwalimu Julius?
Kambarage.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to understand this kind of the way. And then I know this just a quick mark here to make sure that. Enteke? Oh, sawa. Haya. So guys, that's the way we are just getting forward, and I like this kind of the way we are just making it. Huh? So what I can just encourage much of the people here, let's work and make it happen, because we are the next generation. Much of the people think about still our fathers will be the generation. That's why much of the people have ventured into liquor. They don't even think. And tomorrow needs much of the genetic. Talk about very energetic people, so you can work for it. and that's the way forward. So guys, I'm going to be coming to a conclusion of this kind of the video at this kind of the particular moment, and I appreciate much of the services and also the way you have just talked about. It's called Farm with Maxwell, and go check him and subscribe, like, share, comment, so you can just groove together as a team. And also we have I am Juma. I'm going to be having this kind of the best position and make it happen. Guys, I appreciate much of the effort you have been watching this kind of the video and supporting. Whenever we come to this kind of the position, talk about, Gintu, let's make it happen. We always encourage and make sure that much of the boys going to be getting to the real brim point of getting forward. So keep it tuned, keep it locked. Much of the thing going to be coming to you live, which is one-on-one, and I appreciate the moment. It's underscore Gintu, back again to the root. And this is the awareness and encouragement to our young people to make it happen, because tomorrow is another day and tomorrow needs us. And this kind of the work talking about, we should not work, we should just pretend this and that and this, that's not the way forward. And yes, everybody has his own misconditional. Talk about unconditional circumstances, east, west, and south. That's why even the river always have some meanders. There's somewhere where water is very calm but very dangerous. And there's a place where now water is very stiff but runs very quickly. There's a place where there's a corner, very sharp corner. You can imagine how water cuts a corner. That's the temptations that we want to be having. That's the way even the life is. Sometimes you can go far down like a safari rally. Sometimes you can go in a very slender way and you can move very softly. And sometimes you can go in a corner whereby you have some cornering, some miseries evolving to a life. So that is the way. And always I talk about this is the way forward, and we're going to be making it happen. Thank you very much, everyone who's been tuned. And you can just have a bye-bye and talk about subscribe, like, share, comment, man. Yeah.
By the way, I'll be calling myself from today and so I am Juma.
I am Juma.
And thank you for watching this video.
Exactly.
Comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you very much, bro. That's it. We have another gentleman here.
For me, I call myself Farm with Maxwell. I venture mostly about farming, animal keeping, the crops. So I'm really thankful for welcoming us in your homestead. And I really appreciate,
Exactly. Thank you very much.
I can just say, just comment, share, like, and
we groove together.
Yes.
And that is the way we have to make it. So guys, I appreciate your moment. So let's go. Next vibe, next video coming across. And this is the end. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, back to the G Castle here. And it's now looking so awesome. You can see, guys, the last work that we are just doing, it's doing this kind of the stuff here. Talk about it's gonna be looking like a very good foundation here, plastered, very fantastic here, to make sure they're going to be looking so awesome all around the house. It has been formulated at this kind of the strategy to make sure that it's now looking so awesome all over the way, and everything is just looking so fantastic here. So as far as everything is in concern, every kind of the section was just placed here all over the G Castle to make sure that we are just moving forward. Very fantastic, and I appreciate we have just moved so fast, and we are just going very fast. So even the corners have been already trimmed, very fantastic here, to make sure that they're just looking gorgeous here. So even at the back here, everything was just successfully done, very fantastic. So right now, guys, the only thing that is just remaining at the G Castle, it's now to start what is called the ceiling board laying of the boards. Talk about the gypsum boards to be laid, so as we can have the work continuing here very, very gently and very, very fantastic here. So this is the work of us right now that's just remaining, to make sure that we are just getting to the front yard of this kind of the page. So right now everything is just good, and the top masons have been a little bit now getting away to leave much of the work still to be headed at this kind of the G Castle, because right now we are heading to the gypsum board. Talk about the gypsum board to be placed here, and still I have not yet bought those kind of the boss. I need somebody who will be so punctured in terms of doing this kind of the work, who will be so energetic enough to do it, because I don't want a person who is just cornering A, B, C, D here and there. I want a person who is straightforward and making it happen. And also we have some of the plaster of the deck here. It's just remaining a little bit, that's just remaining here. But I think this kind of the work of the gypsum, talk about the deck, it's going to be done with an engineer himself, because the one who understands how this kind of the work is. So right now the G Castle looks so gorgeous, and that is the look of the G Castle at this kind of the particular rate. And this is the movement that we are just making here to go forward here. So this kind of the pillars, they were just plastered very fantastic, and they're just arranging themselves very awesome, and they're now looking so very awesome at this kind of the particular rate. So right now the G Castle looks very awesome at this kind of the rate, and I appreciate much of the people who have been part of the program to understand that we are moving forward. So guys, support Gintu to make it happen. And if you're watching this kind of the video at this kind of the rate, you can just talk about, oh Gintu, how can you just support? So you can just support Gintu and we make it happen. And I really appreciate everyone being part of my life and also making sure that the G Castle getting forward. So we are just remaining with the two key points here. Talk about the tiles, and also we are talking about the deck here. So if you can support Gintu to make sure that we are just moving forward, support. Also, I always support guys outside there. Make sure that I'm supporting the toilets, I'm supporting the people with shoppings there, and I can make it happen. So whoever want to support Gintu so you can just make it. Sometimes I always come and talk about, hey, we have to talk about it, because right now the things are not getting very fantastic here. So things are getting, we have to get forward, and we have to ask whenever you don't have, you understand how the things is. Sometimes I go and film much of the video and talk about, oh, we have to talk about, yeah, what's the problem do you have? Even me right now, I have a problem of making sure they're going to be having some boards here, and I want to start buying much of the boards, and also I'm going to be starting to buy the tiles also to make sure that the G Castle are going to be in a finish and a complete way. So we are moving slowly by slowly at a pace. So right now, I think from next Monday, right now it's just today is on Thursday. I'm gonna be having this kind of the weekend also to make sure that I'm collecting myself. You're gonna be getting much money. I'm gonna be buying this kind of the boss. If I don't get, again, we'll squeeze it back forward, because we are having the G Castle here, and we are just having it here very cantankerous, very fantastic at this kind of the rate. So if you're gonna be surprising Gintu, make it happen. And we'll really appreciate and talk about let's get forward, and kudos to everyone who is being a part of the program. So when I get forward, guys, because I've tried my best. Whenever to reach this kind of the site, it's not a joke. I've tried my best. Much of the meanders in, much of the hula balloons in, much of the telenovela in, but we are trying to make it coming out. And also we talk about the toilet. Also we're going to be continuing from Monday also to make sure that we are just moving so fantastic at this kind of the rate. So everything is just squared, and everything is now looking so gorgeous. You can even see the G Castle from the behind here. So it's looking so gorgeous. And also we have this kind of the septic tank going to be coming, not a septic, we're going to call it underground tank. It's going to be having much of its own time. Very, very unified here. The kids are looking awesome, and they're the ones for the hospital use. And also the firewood here, they're firewooding, and everything is so fantastic. We have so many firewood here. Sometimes I do cut much of the firewood at this kind of the point. So I want to see the brick foundation and to understand what's really happening at the bricks here. So already the bricks are continuing, and we are having a lot of the bricks at this kind of the site, and you can even see them here. They are sun drying, but we have much of we can call it we have much of the rainy season. It's really interfering with the condition right now, but we will not fail, because already even I can see the store, it's already bulked with much of the bricks already at the spot. We have these ones are just already talk about already burnt, they are good to be used. So these ones here, we are ready to arrange them in the house. So already we are in 7,000. Now we are just having 3,000 to start a next killing of burning them at this kind of particular rate. So the ones that are already, they are just here bulking, and very many of them, they're just at this kind of the site to make sure that we are having a lot of the bricks at the site here. So I've seen it has just started again from this kind of the point, but everything has to go forward. I appreciate this kind of the guys. They're trying their best to make it come, and I appreciate how they're just always making it happen, because Gashagwa is already bought to Ayamara there, already is now doing much of the work. I like, because that's a movement that this kind of the people, they don't belong to in a certain point that, oh, I should be in Gintu only. They should go to Mugesi, they should, because they don't have a permanent work into Gintu. Yeah, that is the fantastic. So the time they're going to be talking about, they're going to be going to another site, they will have to go. Whenever they talk about they're going to be going to another area, they have to go, so as they can just make it happen. That is the particular moment I always talk about. We have to go forward. We have some of the fruits here, and my father likes them here, but my father today is a little bit sick, and I've just got him to the hospital, and is having much of the blood sugar a little bit, and is struggling to make it happen. So already today in the morning I had that kind of a way of making sure that I'm taking my father to the hospital, so as he can just get much of the treatment today. So that is the good effect today. So the dog here, shh, kuja. The dog there is having some colors. So those kind of the colors are the ones that I was talking about. This kind of the guys, they came to treat them because they were having a bad condition. But we always treat my dogs. I understand the strategy, understand how we're gonna be getting forward because I like the pets. That's the good motive we're gonna be having at this kind of the rate. We have this kind of the fruits here. Much of the people are still eating them like something else here, and you can never come and just even get one down here because if we want to know that this kind of the fruits are getting very awesome, they're going to be dropping down whenever they just get, if they just ripe, they get and just get down. Talk about they fall down. That's the good fact. So talk about the production rate of the bricks here is so gorgeous and characteristically good, and we have to go forward with the way it is. So guys, I appreciate much of the moment of just taken and also supporting Gintu to make it happen, and let's get forward because this is the Vuma and this is the way of us to get forward. And also this kind of the video was so encouraging to much of the boys who are going to be starting much of their own business, venture into our own business, and also orient yourself, talk about this is the way I'm going to be getting, and this is the way I'm going to be going forward. The maize, they're just good here, and they're now developing very fantastic. So these are the maize that I always plant. Talk about, I showed you this kind of the good seeds that we always plant, and also like right now, whenever they're going to be harvested, I'm going to be picking the seeds from the same maize. I selected the best one because even the agricultural people, they selected the best, that they know that this is the best, and they're going to be using them where necessary at this kind of the way forward. So whenever we ever do this kind of the things here, I appreciate that we are getting front and every time. So I like about even Mayani, I has already harvested much of the talk about it as cut them down so they can just dry further because it's a rainy season, so they have to dry further so as they can just be picked and also be harvested and get to the market in a very fantastic way. He asked me about this kind of the polythenes here. They can just help him so they can just go and sun dry the maize. Very fantastic. So everything will be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. We ever getting forward to this kind of the point. So guys, support Gintu so you can just make it happen. By the way, I'm telling you, I'm a little bit broke, and I'm really broke. I'm really broke. But I understand much of the people talk about Gintu. Oh, why? No, chef. Everything going to be so fantastic. So guys, as you're getting to this kind of the points, thank you very much for you watching at this kind of end, and I appreciate much of your time also picking unto us, and also making sure they're commenting, liking, and sharing, and keeping supporting. Gintu is the real G coming on, and this is the end. It's now I'm just here, and it has broken. Yeah. Oh my living God. So these are for, oh my God. So we're gonna be putting inside much of the mud so that they can just make sure that it's sealing it permanently. Yeah. Pick the mud. Yeah. It's just ending, So guys, we have mud can just help to seal the area. You can hear it's completely sealed, so never judge the reasoning here. So the mud is very fantastic in this kind of the water spot. So already it's just no much technology, exactly. So guys, keep it tuned, keep it locked. Next time, next vibe coming on at this kind of the rate. This is the end.